ready for Conor to get back to MMA.
Yeah, what's he coming back to?
I don't know. We got to get past this first. We got 2 weeks, and less than 2 weeks, and then we can figure out what's next.
You think you'll still crown an interim champion though in the meantime?
Yeah.
Any idea who?
Yeah.
So when is that?
Shit, off the top of my head, I don't remember where it is, but I think it might be Vegas. October 7th in Vegas, I think.
Is that Lee Ferguson?
Huh?
They were saying today it was Lee and Ferguson.
Yeah.
That'll be for the interim tussle. What happened to Habib?
Habib's not ready.
Hurt?
Yeah, he had surgery, and yeah, he's just not ready. You know? So, it is what it is.
So Lee and Ferguson for the interim title October 7th. Is that a main event fight?
No.
No.
Might be. I don't know. You're asking me too many questions now.
But is it?
I'm focused too much. I'm focused on this fight in the next 2 weeks. It's the only thing I'm really focused on.
Is that's official though? I mean, that's what's happening. Is Lee Ferguson? That's for sure, or that's just a plan?
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
Back to the daily grind. The channel's getting false flagged by triggered trolls, so make sure you subscribe to the new channel. Let's get to the MMA news. We got some breaking MMA news coming in. Shout out to KM Smith. He just hit me up on the YouTube comment. I got the notification. He said Tony Ferguson versus Kevin Lee is set for the interim title. Dana White just confirmed. I looked into it, and by doom, that shit is true. This means fucking crazy shit. The lightweight division just got real. Shit just got interesting. The lightweight division was stagnant. One of the only people that was chomping at the bit, begging for a fight in the top 5 was Kevin Lee. Everyone else was waiting. Shit. Conor McGregor's fighting Floyd. Khabib Nurmagomedov's eating tiramisu. He was supposed to be fighting Tony Ferguson. That's the biggest part about this. What the hell? He must have ate some poisonous tiramisu. I'm talking about Khabib. Fuck, he ate that tiramisu before the fight. He had to pull out of UFC 205 or 209. He had to pull out of UFC 209 after eating that tiramisu, and this dude's been out for a full year. Still won't be ready a year later. Holy shit, that had to be some, man, I don't know what the fuck was in that stuff. But so Khabib Nurmagomedov, Dana White saying is not going to be ready. Tony Ferguson said that on Twitter. The day that the fight got announced, that he said, hold on. Khabib's manager just said that they're not ready for the fight. So it's looking like Tony Ferguson was onto something, because Kevin Lee's getting the interim title shot. Holy shit. Kevin Lee's a dude that can talk shit like Conor McGregor. The press conference is going to be intense. All the lead-up's going to be intense. These have already got into it before not in the octagon. They've got into it outside of the octagon and shit. Almost got into a fight outside of the octagon, so they've got a little bit of history, a little bit of beef already. Whoever wins this is going to get to fight Conor McGregor when he comes back, and either way, holy fuck, it's going to be an epic fight. If Kevin Lee's able to beat Tony Ferguson, Kevin Lee versus Conor McGregor would literally be some of the biggest build-up we would see, because Kevin Lee's one of the only people with a mouthpiece that can keep up with Conor McGregor in the UFC, let alone they're both in the same division in the UFC. And Kevin Lee has been training with Floyd Mayweather, helping Floyd Mayweather get ready for Conor McGregor. Oh, this could get so real if Kevin Lee wins. Kevin Lee versus Conor McGregor for the title. Fucking world tour. That fight would be so fucking big. I'm rooting for Kevin Lee in this fight, just because, man, what he's been doing has been really impressive. He's the underdog. I tend to root for the underdogs, man. I like the underdog personality. He's not a complainer. He's just down to get in there and get to fighting. Fucking Kevin Lee, man, if you're sleep on Kevin Lee, that's fine with you. But I've been aboard the bandwagon for a little bit now. I mean, he's from Detroit. I got some friends from fucking Detroit, or Michigan. He's fucking campaigning to fight multiple times. He said, I'll fight anybody. He's calling people out. He's calling people out to be easy money. Just submitted a jiu-jitsu specialist in Michael Chiesa. He's down to fight anybody, man. And right now in the stagnant lightweight division, it's a breath of fresh air. So this is going to be a huge fight. It's got major title implications. The winner of this is going to be fighting Conor McGregor on his return to MMA, or just becoming the champion if Conor McGregor decides not to come back because he wants to fight Paulie Malignaggi. So if Conor McGregor stays in boxing, this will be the official lightweight championship. But I mean, I'm hoping Conor McGregor comes back to MMA before he gets stripped of his title. But just think about this, man. This belt, the interim championship, was already scheduled fucking 6 pay-per-views ago. At UFC 209, they were already going to have an interim lightweight belt. Now they're finally getting an interim lightweight belt. How much longer does Conor have before the UFC can talk about stripping him for not fighting in MMA? I'm hoping after the Floyd fight, he'll be able to get in here, maybe Madison Square Garden or December, and he's going to be the winner of this fight. This fight's looking to take place in Las Vegas at UFC 216, and I mean that's big for UFC 216. One of the only other cards names we have on the card is like Paige Van Zandt versus Jessica Ai, and there's one other fight on that card that's not a huge fight, but it's a good fight. So Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson. I'm fucking pumped for this fight. Honestly, as far as entertainment value, this has a lot more entertainment value possible than Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. Kevin Lee, to me, is an exciting fighter. I mean, he can use his wrestling if he needs to. He's got a wrestling base, but his striking is on point. I mean, he's got good jiu-jitsu. You've seen what he did versus Michael Chiesa. Defensive jiu-jitsu, defensive wrestling. Kevin Lee's a very, very good overall fighter. He's a guy that came in. He's one of the new breed of fighters that grew up with the mindset of, I want to be an MMA fighter. So when he got into college wrestling, he got into college wrestling with the mindset of, I'm wrestling for MMA. I don't want a college career. I don't want to go to the Olympics. I'm doing this. Yeah, I get a scholarship for it, but my goal for my collegiate wrestling is to translate to MMA. That's always been his goal. He had a very good interview on Chael Sonnen's podcast where he went into stuff like that. So I'm a huge Kevin Lee fan. I'm fucking glad this fight got booked. I didn't want to see Kevin Lee sitting on the sidelines because literally the 1 through 7th ranked fighters don't want to fight. Like literally. The only person wanting to fight in the top 7 was Tony Ferguson, but it made more sense for him to fight somebody for the interim title. So now that he's getting his interim title, he's showing he'll fight anybody. Tony Ferguson, man, he's on a 9-10 fight winning streak. He's somebody you don't sleep on. He's got the potential to beat anybody in the lightweight division. But we have seen him clipped. We've seen him in bad positions, but he usually survives those bad positions and wins the fight. But Kevin Lee's not a guy to really let you survive those bad positions. You see what he did to Michael Chiesa. I mean, I hate to bring that up, but it was just really impressive to me the way he was able to submit Michael Chiesa, even just to control him with the wrestling and stuff. I mean, you can talk about the stoppage, but before the stoppage, there was still about 2-3 minutes left on the clock that he would have just been in a bad position. Even if, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to go into that whole fight right now, but Tony Ferguson versus Kevin Lee, man. I'm fucking hyped for this fight. Shout out again for commenting and letting me know this fight just got made. KM Smith. It happened. You know what's funny? I was in the middle of Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series to do the recap, so I probably would have seen it late, like an hour later, but it happened after the Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series was over, which I'm still in the middle of watching. I'm a little behind, but it's all good. I'm going to get that out too. But, man, this is a good fight. I'm fucking hyped. Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson for the interim title, which means Khabib Nurmagomedov was unable to fight a whole year after he was man. So when was his Michael Johnson fight? UFC 205. So what? It's been about 10 pay-per-views, man. So somebody's gonna have to do the time. When was UFC 205 his last fight? Because after UFC 205, he was scheduled at UFC 209, unable to fight. Now all the way till now, UFC 216. It's gonna be about a year, literally a year and a half between Khabib's next fight. Between his last fight and his next fight, between UFC 205 and who knows when he's coming back, like 270. Now who's he gonna come back against? I mean, it's just, I don't know what's going on with Khabib Nurmagomedov's health. Well, I'm sure we'll be getting updates soon. I'm sure he's gonna be coming out on Twitter or his manager saying, no, we were ready. But I don't know, man. Dana White scheduled the fight, so it is what it is. Let the hitters know what the fuck you tap Matt in the comments, dude.